course on Calculus for Business. In this lecture, we are going to talk about the concept of chain rule in differentiation. But before getting into the technical aspect of chain rule, we will see the scenarios where this is applied. Okay. Suppose, let us talk about textile industry. Okay. For an example, I am taking textile industry. The textile, in order to make some clothes out of it, okay, in order to make the clothes, we need yarn, right? So, clothes depends on yarn, that is threads. Okay, threads depends on what? They depend on cotton. So this kind of dependency, chain kind of dependency, we are going to make use here. Okay. Now, what I have said, so clothes depend on threads and threads depend on cotton. In this case, if you observe, you may write like clothes. Let me write C of, okay, C as the function that represents clothes. Okay, and T represents threads, and this is, okay, let me write this as Cn represents cotton. Here you may very well see that your C is a function of T and this T is a function of Cn. Okay, so when you squeeze this in, you may see that your C is a function of T of Cn. This is what you have. Now, the case arises for the differentiation is, that is, we are going to talk about the rate of change. So, whenever we are in a need to talk about the rate of change, what should we do? Okay, if we talk about the rate of change that is happening in the clothes, okay, that is going to be the ratio of the change in clothes upon the change in threads. Whereas, whenever you wish to talk about the change in threads, okay, this is the rate of change in clothes with respect to threads. Am I right? Yes. So, what is the rate of change in threads with respect to cotton? So, it is the change in threads upon change in cotton. Suppose we wish to study the rate of change of, okay, rate of change in clothes with respect to the change in cotton. If we wish to study this change, then comes the concept of chain rule and differentiation. This is what, so in order to study this, we need the change in clothes upon change in cotton. So this is what we are going to study. Okay. Here, if you look at these things, clothes depends upon threads, whereas, and threads depend upon cotton. Whereas here, clothes do not directly depend upon cotton. Clothes depend upon threads and threads depend upon cotton. So this may be, okay, so let me simply write change in clothes upon change in threads and change in threads upon change in cotton. So I may write like this and this gets cancelled and I will be left with this thing. Okay, now I know what is this and what is this. With these two things I can write down what is the change happening here. So this kind of things, I have given you an instance where chain rule is used, and you may see any kind of example and you may frame any kind of example of this sort. And technically speaking, if y is a function of u and u is a function of x, then dy upon dx, this is written as dy upon du times of du upon dx. So this is what we have seen with the idea, and we can take this as a motivation. This is what we need to study. In order to study this, we can make use of the changes happening in respective things. Okay. So here in short, what? Y is a function of u. Okay. Where u is a function of x. We are talking about the rate of change happening in y whenever there is a change in x. In order to study this, we are looking at the change happening in y whenever there is a change happening in u, and the change happening in u whenever there is a change happening in x. So only here, come back to here, if there is a change in cotton, of course this change will affect the changes in thread. Okay, and this stimulates some change in threads, and that will of course stimulate change in clothes. So this is how the formula works. Now let us see some problems on this concept.
Let us now begin the technical aspects of chain rule. So let me repeat the things that I have said. Here, what are the things that we are going to consider is y is a function of u and u is a function of x. Then derivative of y with respect to x is going to be derivative of y with respect to u times derivative of u with respect to x. So this is how we are going to do these things. This may also be written as dy upon dx, right? So let us begin with problems. So the first problem is we have to differentiate with respect to x to the following functions. We have to find the derivative. Okay, the first one is ax plus b whole power n. So this is what here we are about to take ax plus b whole power n as y and let us take ax plus b as u. Then what happens? Y is simply u power n. Okay. Now let us find out dy upon du. So remember, whatever is given in the denominator, whatever is considered as independent variable in this case, to which only we will have to differentiate. So there and all we had d upon dx of x power n. That is why we had n times of x power n minus 1. It does not mean that only x can be differentiated. If you are given d by dx of t power n, x is considered to be the variable, but you are given something else, which means you will have to treat this t as a constant. So constant power any value is again a constant. This will turn to be 0. Okay, you have d upon du of x power n in the sense here also you are differentiating with respect to u, but you are given some other alphabet here, hence it is treated as constant and hence you will get 0. If you have d upon du of u power n, then in the place of x we have u. That's it. That is the only difference. So we will have n times of u power n minus 1. This is how the calculation has to be carried out. You have to be very careful about the independent variable or the variable based on which we perform the differentiation. Okay, so these might give you some idea about understanding the derivatives. So let me leave this as it is. Okay, these are some ideas for the better understanding. Here, what is dy upon du is d upon du times of u power n. So this happens to be n times of u power n minus 1. Now we will have to calculate du upon dx. So this is d upon dx times of ax plus b. Here a and b are treated as constants. So you apply the sum rule. So you will have d upon dx times of ax plus d upon dx of b. Using scalar multiple rule, you can take a outside and you will have what? D upon dx of x, which is 1 plus 0. So it is a. Therefore, dy upon dx is what? N times of u power n minus 1 multiplied with a. You know n is a constant and a is a constant. You may simply write this as na, and u is a variable that we gave, right? In the problem they have not given u. It is our convenient, we have taken it as u. So we will have to replace the u value. So it is going to be ax plus b whole power n minus 1. So this is the derivative. Hence we may write d upon dx of the given function ax plus b whole power n happens to be n times na times of ax plus b to the power n minus 1. Okay, now let us move to the next problem. Here we are given e power ax plus b. Okay, let us take y to be e power ax plus b and u to be ax plus b. Then what happens? Your y becomes e power u. Your dy upon du is what? It is simply e power u. In the place of x we have u, that's it. And du upon dx is going to be what? D upon dx of ax plus b. As in the previous problem, we are going to get only a. Hence, your dy upon dx becomes what? Dy upon du times of du upon dx, and this is e power u and this is a. So we may write this as a e power u, since constant can be written first. So this is a convenience. This does not create any problem, okay, during calculation. That is why we are writing this way, and we shall replace u with ax plus b, and this happens to be the answer. Let us move to the other problem. The next problem is log. Again, here what are we supposed to take? We take y to be log of this function ax plus b and u to be ax plus b. Then we may write y to be log u, dy upon du happens to be 1 upon u, and du upon dx happens to be a, as in the previous problems. That is why I am writing these things directly. Hence, dy upon dx happens to be dy upon du, that is 1 upon u times of a. So this may be written as a upon u, and u is what? Ax plus b. Right? So hope you people have had the understanding of how to make use of chain rule. Now let us go to some complicated problems now. The next problem that we are going to see is, we are asked to find out the derivative dy upon dx if y is given as log ax. Okay, it is log ax to the base e. Okay, here let us take u to be ax. Then your y becomes what? This becomes log u, right? So it is easy to find out dy upon du, that happens to be 1 upon u, and du upon dx, you may very well see that a is a constant, so you can take it outside and you will have d upon dx of x, and we know this is 1, so this happens to be a. And hence dy upon dx would be what? It is dy upon du times of du upon dx. So this is 1 upon u and this is simply a, and this happens to be a upon u, and u is log, u is what? Ax. So a gets cancelled and we will be left with only 1 upon x. Right? The next problem is d upon dx of log 5x plus 7. So one may notice we initially did with a and b. Here we have the specific values, but still let me work it out completely in order to gain the understanding, better understanding. Let me take y to be log 5x plus 7 and u to be 5x plus 7. If I take this as u, then my y becomes what? Log u. Okay, so log u. Now dy upon du happens to be 1 upon u, and du upon dx happens to be 5 times of d upon dx of x plus d upon dx of 7. This is 0 and this is 1. So I am left with 5. Hence dy upon dx is dy upon du times of du upon dx, and this is 1 upon u and this is 5. So 5 upon u, that is 5 upon 5x plus 7. Okay. Now let us make the problems little more complicated. Let us take y to be log under root 2x plus 3. Okay. So here what am I going to do is that I will take y to be as it is and u to be under root 2x plus 3 and some t to be 2x plus 3. Okay. In this case, what will I get? My y is log u, simply log u. Okay. And my u is under root t. I have something of this sort. And t is 2x plus 3. Okay. Whenever I wish to find out dy upon, I need to find out what? Dy upon dx. This is what I need to find out. But here I may notice that my y depends on u. So I will have dy upon du. And my u depends on t. So du upon dt. And my t depends on x. So here is where the chain ends. It is not necessary that the chain must involve only 3 variables, namely x, u and y. It may involve any number of variables. And even here, the designation of names to the variables. It is not necessary that we have to give only y, u, t, x. Only these kind of things. Not necessarily. Okay, it may be anything, but generally we take these things. One has to remember very clearly about the nature of independent variable and the nature of dependent variable. Don't rely on the notations. X, y, these are some usual notations. They are not general notations. They are some usual notations that we are used to. It may be anything else as well. Okay. In order to complete this problem, we will have to find out these things separately. So first let me do dy upon du. That happens to be 1 upon u. As we did the same in the previous problems, let me write it directly. And now I will have to calculate du upon dt. That is d upon dt of t power half. So it is n times of the variable to the power half minus 1. So this happens to be half times of t power minus half, and this is 1 upon 2 times of t power half, and this happens to be 1 upon 2 under root t. And dt upon dx is d upon dx times of 2x plus d upon dx times of 3, and this is simply 2 and this is 0, so 2. Now what is going to be my dy upon dx? This is 1 upon u times of 1 upon 2t per half. Okay, I think let me write it in the next page itself. So here what happened? My dy upon dx happens to be 1 upon u, 1 upon 2t per half times of I get 2, right? So simply 2. So here you may very well see that this 2 and this 2 are constants, hence these two can be cancelled, and my u is what? It is under root t, and here also I have my under root t. So t per half is simply under root t. So this happens to be 1 upon t, and what is t? It is 1 upon 2x plus 3. Okay, so what we finally get is d upon dx times of log under root 2x plus 3 happens to be 1 upon 2x plus 3. Okay, let us move to the next problems. That is, we need to find out the derivatives. That is, differentiate the following with respect to x. That is, my y is given to be 3x squared minus plus 4x minus 5 whole cube. Okay, this is my function. Now I need to find out dy upon dx. Okay, let us proceed. Let me take u to be 3x square plus 4x minus 5. Then my y becomes what? U per 3, that is u cube. Okay, what is the purpose of converting this function y? Y is given in terms of x. What is the purpose of converting y in terms of u and u in terms of x? In the formulae section, we have seen only 3 formulas. Hope you people remember. That is the derivative of x power n. Okay, so d upon dx of x power n, this we know, that is n times of x power n minus 1, and d upon dx of log x happens to be 1 upon x, and d upon dx of e power x happens to be e power x, and the derivative of constant is 0, and other rules. As a formula, we have seen only these 3 things. If function is not in this form, we try to make some substitutions to change the given function in this form and then perform the things. That is what we are trying. Okay, and that is the actual purpose of chain rule. When we are given with some unknown functions, that can be converted to in the known functions, and with that we shall proceed. Okay, now this happens. We know du. Okay, let us find dy upon du, that is u cube. So in the place of x we have u, so this happens to be 3u per 3 minus 1, which is 3u squared. Okay, and du upon dx, this happens to be what? D upon dx of 3x squared plus d upon dx of 4x plus minus we have, right? So minus d upon dx of 5. So 3 can be taken out from this and 4 can be taken out from this. So when we take 3 outside, we will be left with d upon dx of x squared, and here when you take 4 outside, that is d upon dx of x minus this happens to be 0. Okay, so this would give you 2x per 1. So that is simply 2x. When you multiply that with 3, you will get 6x, and here you are going to get 4 since derivative of x is 1. So you got these things. Let me complete it in the box. So let me write it in another color. Hence dy upon dx happens to be what? Dy upon du and du upon dx. So this was 3u squared and this was 6x plus 4. Now we'll have to convert to the original variable. Hence, you may substitute the u value. So 3 times of 3x squared plus 4x minus 5 whole square times of 6x plus 4, and this is the derivative of the given function. Okay. The next problem that we are about to see is quite tricky and interesting. Okay. We need to find out the differentiation of x bar x bar x. This seems to be easy. So some of us may think that d upon dx of x bar x bar x. This is what we need to do, right? So what is the big deal? In the place of n we have x bar x, so we shall write this way. We may think like this, but this is not going to happen, because that formula, this one tells you whenever your x is a variable and n is a constant, you may write like this. Okay, when you have constant in the power also, you cannot make use of this formula. Okay, this example has something to tell you that when you have x in the power, you cannot make use of that formula. When you have constant in the power, you can of course very well make use of the given formula, but still here it is not the case. So how are we going to do it? And while seeing about the concepts in compound interest, we have seen that whenever you have some unknown in the power, in order to bring that down, we take logarithm. Okay. Here let us start the solution formally. Let us take y to be x bar x. Then what happens to my log y? So this is log of x bar x. So log x to the power something. So that power something will come down. So this is what we are going to have. Now when you try to find out the derivative of this thing, okay, let me mark this as equation 1. Okay, so what is going to happen here? Now we are about to differentiate 1 with respect to x. Before proceeding with this, let me tell you one more thing. As of now, just hold off these things and come here. We have this. So what is the purpose of this problem? We need to find out d by dx of x bar x, and this is what we have taken as y. So d by dx of y, which means we need to find out dy upon dx. Okay, this is the purpose of this problem. Having this in mind, proceed with this. Okay, now we are about to find d upon dx of log y, which is same as that of d upon dx of x bar x log x. Okay, you may treat, okay, let me do the things here itself. You may treat this as u and this as v and apply the product rule. Okay, when you are applying product rule, what will you get? You will keep v as it is and find the derivative of x bar x plus u as it is and the derivative of v. So this happens to be log x, and still here we do not know because we have x in the power. So let me write this as it is, and x bar x upon, sorry, times of d upon dx of log x. Okay, we know this value, this is 1 upon x. So simply write that as 1 upon x. As of now, write like this and mark this as equation 2. Now we have seen what is happening in the right hand side. Now we have to see what is happening in the left hand side as well. Now come here, you have log y. Suppose if this is log x, what would you get? you would get 1 upon x. So this is what you must be expecting to get from y as well. If y is completely independent of x, we may treat this log y as constant and conclude that this is 0. But y is a function of x. That cannot be done here. Okay. What are we supposed to do? Okay. So for this alone, let me do the calculations using yellow color. Okay. Let me take log y as some u is not involved, right? So let me take this as u. Okay, so if this is what we need to find, how are we supposed to find? We are expecting to make use of chain rule here. So when you make use of chain rule here, okay, let me come back and explain you the another version of chain rule. Okay, so here what we have done, you see, we treat y as a function of u and perform differentiation just like we have x here. If you have x in the place of u, what is going to happen? What is expected to happen? We do that, and in the place of x we write u, right? That is what we are doing. Okay, that is what is done in this place. And so this is the second step. So let me write in another color. So the second step is we multiply the derivative of u with respect to x to this. So this is what we are doing. So the same we have to do in the problem that we are dealing now. Okay. If you have x here, what is expected to happen? We would get 1 upon y. So this is expected to happen. Actually, we'll have, if it is treated as x, we'll have 1 upon x. Since it is y, we write this as 1 upon y. And now this y can be differentiated with respect to x, right? That is d upon dx of y. So have this as it is, dy upon dx. So because we need to find out that only. Okay, we forget to write to find. That is, we need to find dy upon dx. So this is the unknown here. We are trying to find out this quantity. How to find out this quantity? We don't know. That is why we are proceeding with these ideas. And we came till this step. Let us now see how to proceed with this. We have marked this. Okay. After this, how are we going to proceed? Here, we need to find out this dy upon dx. Leave these things as here it is. And now, let us consider d upon dx of x power x. Let us consider only this term and let us see how to find out this one. Okay. Here, let us take t to be x power x. So, when we take t to be x power x, then log t becomes log x to the power x, and this turns to be x times of log x. Okay, if you wish to find out d upon dt of x power x, it is same as that of finding dt upon dx. So we are interested in finding this quantity. How are we going to do it? Let us see now. What we have is, okay, what we have is log t is x times of log x, right? So now let us differentiate this one with respect to x. Okay, differentiating this with respect to x. So when we do so, we would get 1 upon t and d upon dx of t as we just had in the previous case. Okay, and this is going to be log x times of d upon dx of x plus x times of d upon dx of log x. So this we would get log x times of 1. So plus x times of 1 upon x. This is going to be simply log x plus 1. Okay. What we have in the left hand side is 1 upon t times of d upon dx of t. This gives you d upon dx of t is t times of log x plus 1. So this is what we have. Okay. Now let us replace the value of t, that is d upon dx of x bar x is x bar x times of log x plus 1.
Yes.
Okay. We got this quantity. Now we'll have to substitute this quantity into let us mark this as equation 3, and we have to substitute equation 3 into equation 2. Okay, once we do so, what we will get, we would get 1 upon y dy upon dx is what? Let us revisit and see. It is log x times of d by dx of x bar x. So it is going to be log x times of some quantity, right? Plus, what is the thing that we have? It is x bar x times of 1 upon x. So plus x bar x times of 1 upon x. Here we have to substitute the derivative of x bar x, that is in the equation 3, that is x bar x times of log x plus 1. So it is going to be x bar x times of log x plus 1. So this is what we have. Okay, let me write things here itself. So this is the thing that we have. We are interested in finding only dy upon dx. So take your y to this side. So when you take y to this side, this is what you will have. Okay, log x into x bar x, and this is multiplied with log x plus 1 plus x bar x times of 1 upon x. If you can take anything in common, that you may do so. So we may take x bar x as common thing in both the terms. Hence we are left with what? Only log x of log x plus 1 plus 1 upon x. And we know what is y. Y is x bar x. So this is x bar x times of x bar x of log x into log x plus 1 plus 1 upon x. And this completes the problem. Thank you.